Hi, Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thank you. This year you'll be joining us at the Fruits and Health Festival here in Slovenia as a yoga teacher, and you're also gonna give some lectures. Since not everyone knows your story, let's start with you. So, what came first, skateboarding, yoga, or fruits?
Wow, well, you know what? I'm a fruit lover, but really yoga came first. Oh, you know what? I'm backing up even further. I've always been a fruit lover since I was little, but skateboarding came first. I got into skateboarding by the time I was 5 years old, and really skateboarding led me into yoga, which then led me into a raw food or a healthy vegan diet.
Okay, how did skateboarding let you into yoga? That's interesting.
Yeah, you know, I like I said, I've been skateboarding since I was 5, and by the time I was a teenager, I was a sponsored amateur in Canada, and skateboarding consumed my life. It was the only thing I ever wanted to do. I traveled everywhere just for skateboarding, was in national competitions and in magazines, interviews, and by the time I was 17, I started partying a lot. I moved out from home, and I was just partying and drinking and smoking and doing some light plant-based drugs and stuff. And long story short, by the time I was 18, I was a wreck. Like, I was already feeling really crappy. I was depressed all the time. I'd go to sleep not wanting to wake up. I didn't want to skateboard as much. I didn't heal as well. And it just really, really affected me. So I knew I needed to change something. And the first thing I came across really was yoga. And it really helped a lot because it helped kind of calm my thoughts down, center me a bit, stretch my body out, which was getting stiffer from not taking care of it and not sleeping. Yeah. And it also pointed to a vegetarian diet. And that's what kind of got me interested in nutrition, was the yoga. And so I found a book called Fit for Life, which really opened my eyes to nutrition and eating raw or more fruits and vegetables and food combining and compassionate living. And that really just exploded a new passion in me. So for 5 years I studied nutrition and decided to go to nutrition school. And during the nutrition school, I met Dr. Douglas Graham and went raw overnight. And by that time, nutrition was as huge of a passion as yoga and skateboarding, but it kind of went through that process.
That was my next question. How did you transition to raw foods? But you already said that it was basically
I can elaborate a little more. I can elaborate a little bit more because, like I said, I read Fit for Life, and that was over 15 years ago, almost 16 years ago. And the big changes I made upon reading it were, eating fruit for breakfast, food combining, and moving towards a simpler, whole foods, vegetarian-based diet. Now, it took about 4 years before I was living a whole foods, vegan diet, and that's when I entered the school at Vancouver. It was called CSNN, the Canadian School of Natural Nutrition. And halfway through that schooling, when I'd already been a very, very simple, high raw, whole food vegan, I met Doug Graham. And the things he said made more sense than I learned in school or in any other book. The way he put it was so simple and easy that I just jumped right in from whole foods vegan with, basically just some cooked dinners into just a very, very simple, mostly mono meals, low-fat food diet. And it changed me instantly. Like, I felt better in every conceivable way, more in touch with spirit and with everyone else, and just athletically superior to what I'd been doing before. And I just jumped 2 feet in and never really looked back. That's been 10 years now.
Great. Okay, so how do you, if I use your expression, earn your bananas these days?
Well, the first 4 years that I did the raw food diet, I really focused on self and getting the social, emotional kind of aspects together, making sure I had, it all really, really straight. And then I was like, this is really what I want to bring to the world. This is what I want to share. I knew that within the first week of going raw. I got into nutrition school for selfish reasons, still for skateboarding. But the raw food diet hit me so hard that I was like, skateboarding is just a vehicle for me to spread this message, and I want to share this. So after, just around 4 years of applying the diet, I worked as a framer, building houses out here in minus 40-degree weather in Canada. And then started building an apartment building, and then once I had enough money to buy a computer and have a little bit of a float, I quit. I was like, this is it, it's too cold, I don't want to be outside working. Enough hot date smoothies and persimmons, and So I jumped right into creating my website, therawadvantage.com, and for the last 6+ years I've been basically doing consultations by donation, holding retreats around the world, working at festivals such as the Slovenia. So it's so exciting. and otherwise, writing books. I have right now I think 5 books, 4 books, 2.5 which are free on my website for signing up, and otherwise shirts and stuff like this. I got one of my new shirts on.
Yeah.
Peace, love, season fruit. But that's really how I do it. That's how I make the mainstay of my income for sure, is just through ebooks and online consultations and festivals and retreats.
But you also work as a raw food chef, right?
That is 100% true. That is 100% true. I've done the Woodstock Fruit Festival 3 years in a row. This year coming up is the first year that I'm actually stepping down as the chef. And otherwise, like last night I held a catered event where I taught yoga and then served a 4-dish East Indian meal. And so I do that as well. I'm chefing for a friend's retreat. Something I'm not doing quite as often because I'm so busy with the consultation and other stuff, but I'm quite an accomplished raw food chef as well.
Great. So at the Fruits and Health Festival, you'll be our yoga teacher. Please tell us what kind of yoga do you do, and will yoga classes at the festival be appropriate for everybody?
For sure, definitely. I love to teach different forms of yoga and different types of classes. Usually each class is a little bit different, and I tailor it to the crew that's there, often asking what they're looking to get out of the class. When I first got into yoga, I got into power yoga, and then I got into flow and into Kundalini. Now I've merged all of those kinds of practices into my own practice called Kendalini Yoga, and so I do raw power. I do Kendalini, which is more of a comedy-based Kundalini class, and then I do regular Kendalini Yoga, which is basically a mix between Kundalini, raw power yoga, the Tibetan rite, and kind of just having fun and being silly. So it even has a bit of martial arts and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. It'll definitely get you sweating, and depending on which class you do, you're either sitting down most of the time or you're doing some pretty intense movements and sweating. So it can really meet everyone's needs.
Right. Okay, so you're also gonna give some lectures about your experience with raw foods, right? But
yes.
For now, just tell us briefly, how has raw food really changed your life?
Well, raw foods to me is just a vortex of positive change. It doesn't just affect you on a physical level, although the physical level is absolutely huge. Physically it lets you release stored toxins. It makes your physical body lighter and more fit and flexible. Endurance goes through the roof. It just creates a balance in the physical. But in terms of emotional and spiritual connection, I've found that it really gets you to look inside. Something that asks you to change, asks you to let go of those skeletons or any little dark spots, to kind of clean them up and put focus to them, or just play them out again and again and again until you realize that's what's happening, right? So it's been a powerful transformation for me in absolutely all spheres, and I feel blessed that I came into it through my schooling as well, because that's holistic nutrition. So I was really aware of the physical, mental, and spiritual body, right? So it's just a really profound way, I think, to promote and to focus interchange and see that on the outside as well with the physical.
Yeah, for sure. And at the end, just tell us about your PRA Dream, which, by the way, I think is awesome.
Thank you very much. Definitely. I'm excited to share about that. Right now, it's just going through the processes through a 501c3, which is the process to make it a full-blown charity. Now, what the PRA Dream is, it's a movement towards creating donation-based healing, learning, permaculture, yoga centers around the world where people can come learn about the lifestyle. If they need to fast, they can come and fast. If they want to learn about permaculture and yoga, they can come do that. If they just need a reprise from life and want to, instill themselves with nature and come closer in contact with themselves, it's a place for them to do that, but all by donation and surrounded by a loving, connected community that is, focused in on those same goals of holism and on raw foods and permaculture, getting back together with nature. So there's a lot of people that are on board and that are really interested and excited about it. I've been working on it for the last few years and dreaming about it for the last 5 years, and it's just starting to roll. I'm really excited, and we're just putting together a board of governors, and it's really coming together. So because it's donation based, it is reliant upon not only donations of money, but of time and expertise, and even possibly land. So the where and when that it'll actually come up and the first center will be built is still in the air, right? It's just percolating and waiting until that right moment in time, the spark hits the right person or enough people for the funds and the place to just kind of like really be apparent. And in my life, that's something I've always found, is that when it's ripe, it's just, you can just tell, there's no question, right? So just excited for that fruit to be picked and to bloom more. So
well, I hope one of these centers finds its place in Europe as well.
That'd be awesome. My absolute dream, first off, I'm sure, not sure, but I had pictured the first center being somewhere-ish in North America, just that's where I'm from, and realistically it'd be easiest to be traveling back and forth and be there a lot to start it. But from there, I would like to see one center in every hemisphere for sure, and also like in every major landmass, so that anyone who's from any place in the world can easily make it to one and not have to spend thousands of dollars for transportation to get there as well.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for that. And just at the end, tell us where people can find you if somebody wants to check you out.
Okay, awesome. So again, my name is Chris Kendall. You can find me at therawadvantage.com. I'm also on Facebook under TRA.ChrisKendall, and Twitter and Instagram, The Raw Advantage, super easy. Lots of stuff to share, excited to share it. Got a nice free iPhone app on my site as well, so hope to connect with you anywhere around there.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to put those links down below. Well, thank you, Chris. Nice to talk to you, and we'll see each other in a couple of months. So
excited for it, definitely excited for it, and blessed by it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. Slovenia Fruits and Health Festival, see you there? Ooh, if you haven't checked out these 2 super popular videos, check them out now and get your 3 free ebooks by simply clicking the link below. Excited to announce my new iPhone app, free with 101 frickin' awesome recipes, TRA retreat treats, food combining charts, shopping carts, and more.